Hello and welcome to another episode of Market Track with Abuzar. We are into November now and lots happening in the real estate market. Stay tuned. Okay, so as always, let's take a look at the different categories of homes. First, we'll take a look at the five graphs that we always take a look at, the residential and condominium together in terms of the new listings, and we'll go on and move on from there. So looking at the activity, we are looking at approximately week 40, 45, 46 since the COVID began. Looking at the comparison of year 2020 to 2019, last year, we are seeing quite a drop in new listings. We were catching up somewhat or balancing out and becoming very close to what it was last year in terms of the fluctuations. Looking at the graph, it was looking very similar, but now we've seen a sharp drop in the number of listings, which will impact everything as a whole. So that's residential and condominium together, new listings. And then taking a look at the sold properties for residential and condominiums, we are seeing that again, the number of solds also is dropping, and this is a relation or relative to the number of listings. Looking at the condos and the freeholds, average sales now. Looking at the drop in new listings in relation, there's a increase in the average price for both categories. Again, this is a bit general because now we are seeing that the condo market is taking a different path in comparison to the residential freeholds, but looking at them together as a whole, again, the average sale price is on the up and increasing. So let's take a look at each separately. Residential only, we are seeing average sale price increase by week, and it is taking it's following the pattern of what it was last year, and as well with the condominiums. Now with the condos, we'll take a look in depth. What we are seeing is that a higher number of listings coming on the market relative to 2019, and as well with the rentals, there's a bit of a change that's been happening. Okay, so now let's take a look at the residential market. The active listings or the listed homes versus the solds, and looking at October 2020 versus October 2019, we're seeing that the listings are much less, and there's a huge gap here. In October 2020, the active listings were 737, whereas the sold homes was over 1,109, and this was completely opposite last year this time. Again, the COVID is to I guess blame, or however you want to put it, for this change, but again, the gap is quite significant, and vice versa compared to 2019. In 2019, we had 1,003 listings, and we had 807 sales. Now, looking at the number of the days on the market on average for residential freeholds, comparing October to October, and on average, homes are selling about 11 days in October 2020, whereas it was almost or it was double on average in October 2019, being 22 days. Now, the ratio of the sold price versus the original price for residentials. So October to October, we are looking at last year we pretty much got the sellers received what they were asking for on average to list price, October 2019, and now we're seeing an increase to 103.8, so almost 104% to the list price. Now, let's take a look at the condominium market, the number of active listings and the solds. So looking at the October 2020, now there is quite a difference we're seeing now in the condominiums. There seems to be more listings, active listings. We'll take a look at the, as we did before, and we'll take a look more. The prices are still on the increase, but this will somewhat impact unless things change. So we are seeing more active condo listings on the market. So 581 versus 455 solds. And in October 2019, 459 active listings and 370 solds. So the condo market is actually, if you want to compare to last year or a normal market, it's actually balancing itself to what it was. And these will impact each other. So the residential properties, the more expensive they become, people will tend to shift more towards purchasing condominiums. And when that happens, the price of condos will increase again. The number of condo units will decline, and the overall average sold days on the market will basically decline as well. So again, we're in an adjustment period, if you want to put it. And the number of days now, we're still significantly different than what it was in October 2019. We have October 2020, 15 days on average for condo units staying on the market, as opposed to 28 days on average in October 2019. And the ratio of sold price to the original price, pretty much the same. So nothing major has changed in the condo markets. Rather, we are seeing more units in the market. And that could be a seasonal thing, it could be a COVID thing. A lot of things will impact this. So 100% for October 2020 and close to asking, 100% of asking in October 2019. Now, taking a look at the rental market, and this is a bit interesting. The number of listed versus the rented units. So again, this is overall. We are taking a look at townhomes, single homes, and condo units. So these are basically should be looked at separately. So it's not the case for everything, but we're looking at it as a whole. October 2020, we had 535 active listings and 281 units rented, compared to October 2019, where we had 206 rented units compared to 365 active listings. Now, what's happening here? I believe we're in an adjustment period where a lot of buyers are purchasing homes for investment, and this is making an impact on the prices. So the prices of units or homes, residential condos are on the up and increasing because of the competition, multiple biddings, and investment properties are a portion of the market. They are purchasing homes higher amounts, and in relation they have to increase the rent. So landlords, you have to increase the rents to compensate for the cost of bidding on homes and covering your taxes, your costs you have, condominium fees, the mortgage payments, and so on. So I believe this increase in rental units will adjust itself, and it will be a much a lesser gap, if you want to put it, for next year. And I think it's just this injection of rental units into the markets is because of the fact that the market is adjusting itself. So the rental prices, to simplify it, the rental amounts are increased, hence more rental units on the market. Now, again, to look at every single category individually is the best way of doing it. And if you guys would like, get in touch with me, text, email, or phone call. I'm always available, and I can basically provide you this information separately, so you can. So really, even townhouses could be in high demand right now. And then a portion of this gap that you see with the 535 or so, it might be in the condominium category. So that's basically looking at this portion, and moving on to the days on the market for the rentals. October 2020, on average, there's 21 days for rental units to stay on the market, and then looking at October 2019, 24 days. So the gap is close, but still units are renting out. There's not a huge concern, if you want to put it, but looking at the whole number of active listings, there is more, and it's a seasonal thing as well. Usually when we get closer to winter, there's less renters, and it's always been that way. So as soon as we move towards spring, we put the winter behind us, you will see a decline in the number of listings. So I think that's a normal thing, considering what we're seeing on the rental prices, and on average of the number of units being rented. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope this was helpful. Any questions you guys have, feel free to touch base with me. Until next time.